Hello guys, good afternoon. So welcome again to our class and I hope you are doing good today. So what are we waiting for? Let's start. Lesson. I want you to watch this short vlog of a tourist who happened to be visiting here in the Philippines. So I want you to take note of every single detail from the vlog because you might be using them to answer the questions that will follow right after.
I'm going to the airport now to visit my 53rd country, New Zealand. And oftentimes people ask me,
Nash, what's your favorite country?
good question. For a country to be my favorite, it has to satisfy three things. People have to speak English fluently so I could talk to them. Prices have to be cheap enough to spend money without breaking the bank.
And nature has to be incredible enough to steal my breath away.
Thailand is beautiful and cheap, but the locals don't speak English, so I can't be friends with them. Switzerland is like heaven, but I'm not gonna pay $7 for water. And Jordan is cheap and has incredible people, but I'm not crazy about the nature. Out of the 53 countries that I visited, the country where everyone speaks great English and is friendly, where I can eat out every day for cheap, and where I lost my breath at the incredible nature is the Philippines. People, prices, and nature is why the Philippines is my favorite country. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow.
Alright, now that you have viewed the video clip, I want you to answer the following questions. Number 1, what is the vlogger's favorite country? Number 2, why does he consider it his favorite? Number 3, how does he feel about Filipinos? And number 4, what should be done in order to attract more tourists like him? Okay, so for question number 1, what is the vlogger's favorite country? Anybody? Alright, very good, Johnny. Yes, it is the Philippines. Number 2, why does he consider it his favorite? Yes, Maria, very good. Number 1, people there should speak English fluently. And number 2, prices should be cheap. And lastly, number 3, yes, that nature should be incredibly beautiful. Very good, everyone. Alright, now let's move on to our topic this afternoon. So, we will discuss about claim. And here, we will discuss the different types of claim, which are the claim of fact, claim of policy, and claim of value. So, claim is actually an arguable statement that defines your goal of the essay. It is the central idea of a text where the writer tries to prove his points by providing details, explanations, and other evidences. So what makes a good claim? So basically, a claim should be argumentative and debatable. It should not be a general truth. Second, a claim should be specific and focused, so we should not choose a topic which is too broad to discuss. Third, a claim should be interesting and engaging. So we have to remember that nobody wants to read a boring book as much as nobody wants to read our argumentative essay if it is not interesting and engaging to our readers. And lastly, a claim should be logical. Now take a look at this example. Smoking is dangerous to one's health. Is this a good claim? Yes, the topic can be interesting and engaging. It can be specific and focused, but it is not debatable and argumentative. Why? Because when we say smoking is dangerous to one's health, that statement is actually already proven truth. So we do not have to discuss and argue whether smoking is really dangerous or not to our health. So, that statement is not a good claim. Second, Philippines is a beautiful country. Do you think we are making a good claim in this statement? Yes. Why? Because not everybody sees Philippines as a beautiful country. We have to argue whether or not this statement is true. And yes, it is specific. Yes, it is interesting and engaging. And yes, it is logical. So that means to say that this statement is a good claim. Alright, so let's now discuss the types of claim that I am talking about. So the claim of fact, claim of policy, and the claim of value. So the claim of fact actually asserts that a condition existed, exists, and will exist in the future. So there are questions that we have to answer if we are going to check whether it is a statement of fact. Number one, can we investigate it through research? And did it happen? So for example, women are as good as men in combat. Did it really happen? Do we have data to support this claim? Well, yes, we can go back to the history and see if this statement is really true. Second, the claim of policy. So the claim of policy argues that something needs to be done, may it be making a law or calling for attention. So in this claim, we are actually or usually using models such as should, must, and ought to. So for example, everyone should be vaccinated to stop the spread of COVID-19. So the word should in the statement is an example of a model, which is one of the things that we have to consider if we are going to look for the claim of policy. Next is the claim of value. So the claim of value is based on reference such as likes or dislikes, good or bad. So it usually compares two ideas against one another. So questions to ask for this claim is it good or bad? Is it valuable or not? So for example, when we say animal rights are as important as human rights, so we are talking about the rights of the animals, which is basically an example of the claim of value. Alright, now I'm going to show you other examples of this type of claims. So number one, COVID-19 and flu spread in similar ways. So this example is a fact because when we say COVID-19 and flu spread in similar ways, we are really talking about a fact. Another example is that marijuana should not be legalized because many individuals will abuse it. So the word should there is a model, which is a sign that we are looking for when we are talking about a claim of policy. Another one, animal testing is the worst way to check medical products. Okay, so it's very obvious we are talking about value here. So basically, this is an example of a claim of value. Alright, so let's try to test if you really learned something from our discussion. So if you think that the statement that I am going to say is a fact, just show to me an approved sign or like this, thumbs up. And if you think the statement that I am going to say is a claim of policy, just do the okay sign. And if it is a claim of value, just use this heart sign. Opa, okay? So, okay, number one. Listen carefully because I will only repeat this statement once. Okay, so number one, cell phones pull students away from learning. Is it a claim of fact, a policy, or a value? What's your answer? Alright, very good. So it is an example of a claim of fact. Next, number two, TikTok. Are you familiar with TikTok? Alright, so TikTok should undergo censorship, privacy, and safety. What's your answer? Is it a claim of fact, a policy, or a value? Alright, because of the word should, TikTok should undergo, the word should there is a model in which we are going to look for that if we are going to try to look for the claim of policy. So meaning that example is a claim of policy. Next, number three. It is totally unethical for Russia to not share the COVID-19 vaccine with other countries given that its technology from which it was based has been proven safe. Is it a claim of fact, policy, or value? Very good. Yes, it is a claim of value. So congratulations. I know you learned something from today. Alright, so that's all for today, guys. I hope you learned something, and I hope you are still excited and will be interested to listen to our next lesson and session together. So what else can I say? Adios. See you again in our next session.